Hello. Hey, it works. It works. Well, welcome to the 11 o'clock Spidermind slot. Today, what we are going to do is we are going to begin with a small recap on what the Battlecards is all about. Many of you will know that we actually came here last year full of stories of how we're making the Battlecards, and loads of people gave it a go. And in the end, something happened to kind of grind the whole thing to a halt for a while. But we are delighted to announce that all of that has finished, and we are now pretty much back up and running. So even though we've had a 12-month hiatus, anybody who has backed us, please remain faithful. Keep that faith, because we are now in full production. But just to begin today, I'd like to introduce you to a little bit of a recap of what Battlecards is all about. Roll the intro.
Oh. Would you do some dramatic music just to... Oh.
It's okay.
Oh,
the music's coming.
Oh,
that's exciting.
I'd forgotten how dramatic that thing was. My goodness.
God, it does look amazing, doesn't it? So if you are interested in having a go at Battlecards in the games room, which I think is called the boardroom by the hotel people, you are more than welcome to come over and try. At the moment, there's nothing going on in the boardroom with regards to Battlecards because they're there. But there are 2 sets for people to come and try. Also, if you want to sign up to have a go at the EDRPG that was wonderfully introduced earlier on by Fozza, there is also a sign-up sheet at reception for you to get yourself involved in those games. Are you ready then to
think so.
Start the main event?
Okay.
Well, hang on a second.
Oh, I've got a call.
Just got a call. Hang on. Just answer it and say hi. Right, so our main event today is going to be a battle-off. It's going to be an epic war between 2 giants within the elite community. And so to begin, I would like to welcome Commander Thane, otherwise known as Chris the Smasher Jarvis, who this morning is going to be representing LaveCon. So go mad for Chris Jarvis!
You get to have your finest hour.
Stand here.
All we hear is LaveRadio's rubbish, LaveRadio's caca, LaveRadio's garbage. All we hear is LaveRadio's poo-poo, LaveRadio's caca, LaveRadio why blue. LaveRadio, someone still loves you.
Oh.
Chris Jarvis! Now, whilst I'm sure all of you are rooting for LaveRadio on the basis that this is LaveCon, we have this evening a world champion representing Frontier Development, someone who has played this game on numerous occasions in front of audiences of quite literally many on live streams, and he has beaten bravely the producer of Elite Dangerous, someone who is higher than him in Frontier Development, but he's kicked his butt several times, unashamed of the fact that his yearly report at Frontier Developments might be affected. He's not in slightest bit worried about his career prospects because he is a monster. And of course, that monster is Will Flannigan! Right, before... Look at that! It is raining men. And then there's us. So, tell me, Commander Thane, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I think I have the slight disadvantage that I play loads of different games at loads of different times. So I'm likely to bring in a rule that's from a completely different game and probably be corrected at some point. So.
No, but you're allowed to. It's fine. Well, how do you feel? I mean, you've won so many games. You have so many trophies. Is this just, another walk in the park, another ant to squash, or are you feeling the nerves?
I'm confident. I mean, Steve Kirby's right there, and I've beaten him in every single game we've ever played.
we weren't going to mention that, but we were going to try and keep that quiet.
So I welcome Chris. I welcome you. I hope you don't get upset when you inevitably lose against me.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I'd like to take a very, very short straw poll before we start. Given these two titans of the Battlecards arena, can you give me a show of hands if you are backing LaveRadio?
Hey!
And a show of hands for all those who confidently believe that Will Flannigan Frontier Developments will win. I think everyone. Well, I think there's slight majority in favour of Will, but we'll see.
So we're taking 2-to-1 odds, and no, let's just see how it goes.
It absolutely is right. Well, will the gladiators please take their seats? I will now hand over to Oliver, who will begin by explaining to the players a little bit about how to set the game up. Now, what we're going to be doing here is we're conscious of the fact that a normal game can, if it's played with two equally matched people, can actually last for several hours. We're not going to keep you here for several hours, we promise. So we're going to try and do a time-limited game. But I'll now hand over to Oliver and he will explain the rest.
Okay, so each of you have got a pre-prepared deck in front of you, which if you would like to pick that up and start shuffling it, Battlecards is basically a card game which is divided into 3 different zones. Each zone has a different mission in it. In order to win the game, you need to control 2 out of 3 zones. Now, missions can slightly alter what's going on. Can we have an overhead view, Grant? Is that all right? And no, we can't. Okay, I'll merely describe, roughly. So with my funky pointer. So this zone here. No, it's the other zone. Well, you're not helping. We have over there an exploration mission. So that zone favors exploration ships. Whoever scans the most planets in that zone is going to have a big advantage in the game. They've got lots of kind of, scouting advantages that gives them greater speed and aggression in the other zones. The middle zone is a classic, what everyone wants, an escort mission, because that's easily the most popular mode in any computer game. You'll see that there are 4 transports here, 2 on each side. In order to win this zone, take control of it forever, you need to blow up your opponent's transports. If you do that, you'll seize control of the zone, you have it forever. The last zone is a really easy one. It's a conflict zone, and that is just a place where you go in and you fight. So, you can only win it by defeating the other ships. Now, guys, now that you've shuffled your decks, would you draw 6 cards and put them into your hand? So, there's basically 3 kinds of cards. There are unit cards, which are your spaceships. There are action cards, which are special abilities that you can do at any time. There's outfitting cards, which can improve your ships in-game. And you'll see here that good old sport, Mr. Chris Jarvis, is showing us his cards. Fortunately, Will can't see them. He should have brought his bendy mirror. That's it. So you can see roughly sort of what's going on here. I can tell you guys, if you've got too many action or outfitting cards, if you like, you can swap them out for other cards at this point. But you look kind of all right to me. I think you can probably make do with what you got there. Okay. The next thing we need to do is determine who the hasty player is. One player is hastier than the other. Hasty players tend to act first, but they also deploy their cards first. So if there's a speed tie, and speed's quite important in battle cards, the hasty player will win that speed tie. But also a hasty player must deploy first, which, as you'll see, is a bit of a disadvantage in its own right. Would each of you grab a 6-sided die and roll? Let's see who is the hasty player. 5 for Will, 4 for Chris. Will, you are the hasty player. Would you take the hasty token? Put it in your leftmost zone, please. Lovely, lovely stuff. Right, at this point, Will, would you deploy 10 build points worth of cards? Remember, when you're deploying your cards, some of them have little karma dots on them. You'll see down at the bottom, there's a little karma point track. Each player starts with 8 karma points. You use these for special abilities on your cards, but also to buy cards that are unusually good. So here we can see that Will has got himself, I believe that's an Imperial Courier of some type. I think so. It's coming up. Oh, we're saying it's, that's beautifully in focus. An Imperial Courier, there we are. It's kind of in focus enough that we can vaguely make it out. It's extremely fast and agile, so he's got that one down. So he obviously intends to be able to strike hard and quickly. He's got some other points to spend. Remember, Will, whenever you draw a card, whenever you lay a card, draw another. We've also got an asp over here. So he's obviously going in for the exploration race on that side. Is that enough points? How many points have you spent there, Will? Is that 8? 10 points. In which case, it's your go. Chris, would you deploy 10 points of cards? So Will here is exchanging one of his transporters for free. Oh, sorry, Chris. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, well, I know people.
Yeah.
Like different names.
We know
stuff.
names and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wrote this game, so, shut up. So you can see that for free, he has swapped out one of his transporters for a Python here, which is much better than the unarmed Type 7 that was there before. So that's a nice crafty move. He's done that for no points whatsoever.
And just to jump in here, once you've deployed a card, you then pick up another card from the deck to make sure that you've got 6 in your hand?
Absolutely, yep. You always set 6 cards during setup. So, Chris, would you now, extremely swiftly, because I will want to say it gets boring when people take too long to decide, but, I stretch the patience of my... where is Chris going to deploy? So he's deploying something in the middle zone here. So he has put on a shield cell bank, it looks like here, on his Python to make it even stronger. It's got even more strength points than before. It's quite hard to see here, but you can see on the left-hand side of the cards, there's 3 numbers. The top number is the build point. The blue number is how many shield points card has. And the very bottom number... we're having a close-up demonstration. This is the theory. Beautiful. So you can see this is 5 points. It's got 4 hull points, or strength points, I should say, and 30 points of speed. The faster the card, the more likely it is to go first. And you see there's a whole bunch of other things that we will go into
I hope no one is feeling seasick at this time.
No, absolutely. No, it's a steady hand. I think you should be a cameraman. Yeah, John, I think, with those skills. Yeah, no, okay, so what have we got deployed? So I can see that the Vulture has come in and an Asp has popped in.
Sorry. I'm just
that's it.
Cards. I'm just fixing the match already.
So we've got an Asp has deployed in the conflict zone and a Vulture has appeared down here. Looks like it's quite a good one, actually. I think a Vulture Vanguard from memory. Okay, so now it's going to be Will's go to deploy. What is Will going to do? Is he going to deploy? Yes, he is. He's going straight into the conflict zone. Looks like with some kind of... is that a Diamondback? It might be. No, or is that... what have we got? What have we got there? Show as well. Nice and low. It's a Cobra. It's a Cobra Driller Max. You'll notice that there's all kinds of different varieties of ship. So the Cobra Driller Max, as you can probably imagine, is a Cobra that's outfitted for mining work. So generally, you'll prefer that in mining missions, but it's still a Cobra. It can still kick some ass and do a bit of damage. We've got the Type 6 deep bore. It's the clash of the mining ships. Brilliant. So flooding the area with mining vessels. This lovely Type 6 is coming in to come and support. Remember, Will, you could swap out one of your transport. Oh, no, you can't, because that's a mining vessel. Carry on, Will. Ignore me. I don't know how this game works.
So
It's always been a mystery to me.
they're deploying 30 points in total,
they
but
are.
taking turns to deploy 10 at a time. You don't actually have to deploy 10. You can deploy just a few less, just a few more, but then the other person gets to deploy an equal number. But by the end of your third round in the deployment stage, you would have each 30 points worth of ships deployed, and that's how the game starts.
So I can see that Will has already put a hull reinforcement card on one of his transports, just to make sure it's extra tough. Is that all your points spent, Will? Lovely. Okay, Chris, if you'd like to pop down yours. We can see at the moment Will is the only one contesting the exploration zone. Is Jarvis going to try and ignore it? He might do. We've got another vulture, and a Cobra Inca is being deployed. That's obviously going, I think, in the conflict zone. And this is the Vulture 59 Alpha. Now, you'll see this is a really expensive card. It's absolutely lethal fighter. It's very hard to hit. Whenever it damages people, it sort of damages their systems at the same time, so they strike back less effectively. And it can also sort of dodge quite well. So I think it's Will's go again. So Will, deploy your final cards. So at the moment, Chris has decided he's going to completely ignore the exploration zone. We'll see how that goes for him. You know, might be fine. He might be all right. Or he's kept in his hand like an 8-point blaster card. Oh, an Anaconda Class 4 is being deployed by Will. That's a nasty one. Very good against warships. But of course, it being an Anaconda, it's generally quite sturdy and nasty. It's in the conflict zone, an excellent place for it. And here, an Empire Interdictor. Oh, so a nasty little fighter that he's putting into the escort mission zone. So you can see the escort mission is being very strongly defended. That looks to me like Will has finished. So Chris, would you deploy your final ships? Oh, has he done? What's he doing? Oh, he is putting in a Diamondback War Totem with prismatic shields.
Don't knock it. It's awesome. The Diamondback War Totem, I can see your faces. It is an amazing ship. So don't look at me.
It is actually quite a good one. It's a sneaky, mega-engineered vessel that's got all kinds of tricks up its sleeve. So although it looked like Jarvis was going to completely ignore that zone, he's crept in at the last minute with effectively maybe a slightly better ship than his opponent. And what is his last choice? What's he doing? What's he going to... Is he... the sneaky bugger. He is going to try and completely overpower Will in the exploration zone. So, and he saved it to last, and he's putting in tiny little cheapy ships to make sure that he can go first and shoot his opponent to tiny bits. So... maybe here's, what we got here? Yes, so we've got the Condor here and an Eagle Interdictor are both going in there. You can see they're lightning fast ships, very fragile, but is Will even going to get a chance to fire back? So, we'll have to see. Oh, and what have we got here?
Right, we're part building this one. What that means is with a 1 point left that Chris has got to spend, he can't deploy a single ship to the cost of 1, so he is part building a ship that costs 5 by laying a dice over it with an indication that he's already part built that and spent 1 point. Next round, if he wants to, he can then deploy that ship for the 4 build points, not the 5.
Lovely. So everyone has deployed their cards at this point.
Do we need to spend karma?
No, they don't. Well, wait a minute. No one's spent any of their karma points. You bad people.
Right, so what you need to do here is you'll notice on some of the ships, there are small dots by the spend points, and these dots indicate that they not only cost build points, but they also cost, like this one here.
If we just flick to card cam, so there you can see there's 2 little things. They'll be brighter in the final version. So
that means they'll be much brighter in the final version. But so that was your war totem there. Yeah, so that means that not only does it cost the 5 build points, but it also costs you some karma points. Karma points are indicated by this row of numbers here. You get 8 at the beginning of the game, and then it recharges at the beginning of your battle rounds by another 4. Is that right?
It does, that's right.
There you go.
So,
the transport I swapped out has
the transport is completely
That's
free.
completely free.
That's completely free. No problem.
Now, having a look at this board, if I were to make a prediction at this point, I would say it could go either way.
That's very insightful, John. Well done. Okay. So you can expect more commentary of that caliber as we go on. So we're now fully set up. We are ready to battle. We always start in the hasty person's leftmost zone. That is Will. So, who is the fastest ship here? So, I believe that we've got. Is that 30 or 40? You guys will have to shout out. Oh, so we've got a draw. So that ship is 30 and that ship is 30. That means Will, because he's the hasty player, goes first. So, Will, your Cobra, drill a max first, please. Yeah, of course I can. Retreat means that you take your card and after you've attacked, you move it off the board. So it'll come back in the next turn, but after you've made your attack, you escape. No one can attack you back. It's quite a good defensive thing to do, with the slight drawback of you might accidentally let your opponent win the game. Because if you retreat from the zone and he's the only one left in control, he'll obviously seize the zone. So on that basis, Will, what are you doing? Would you hold the mic up against Will's mouth so he can announce clearly and loudly what his plans are?
I'm going to attack one target, this one here,
Yep.
with a burst of 3.
Burst 3. Burst 3
Just
means...
to show everyone what the card is, you can see. Can you see clearly there, the 2 orange? They're the options that you get given as to what you want, what you can do with that particular card.
So he can either do a burst 3 or a fixed 2 and retreat. Fixed damage always hits. So fixed 2 is 2 points of damage. That's it. It hits. Burst damage, you roll a dice for each burst point. Every 4, 5, and 6 is a hit. So Will is going to roll 3 dice here. And what has he rolled? He has rolled 2 hits and 1 miss. So that's 2 points of damage on Jarvis's poor Cobra.
Onto his Cobra
So
Inca.
his Cobra can take that because it's got 3 strength points. It's got 1 strength point left. He's still in the game. So that means I think that we're now going over to Chris. You've got, is it 2 ships that are both 30 speed?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
which
I
one
do.
would you like to go with?
I would like to burst 3. I'm going to go in with the Asp Driller.
Astrolo?
I'm going to hit the Conda.
The Anaconda. Okay.
There are 2 options here. The Cobra Inca has its main attack as a burst 3. The Asp has fixed 1, burst 2. So Chris has opted for the slightly more guaranteed. At least he's going to
So
get 1.
if you've got
damage.
burst 2, or is it burst 3?
There's
Fixed 1, burst 3.
Oh, fixed 1, burst 3. Lovely.
Sorry, not burst.
The other one is burst 2 and repair damage, but there's no damage on it.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, so he is going for an attack. Here we go. So that is a superb 1 point of burst damage and 1 point of fixed, 2 points of damage. And what ship was it? The Anaconda. Lovely. Okay, so his Anaconda has taken 2 points of damage. It's got plenty of strength left. It's a great big ship. What's your Cobra going to do now? Oh, once your ship has acted, we drain it. Would you turn them sideways after they act? So is your Cobra going to do burst 3 with the Cobra? Okay, burst 3 on the Anaconda again.
I was thinking about retreating, but I think it's a bad idea.
Yes, I can see why. I think that would be a bad idea.
Oh, that's 1 hit.
1 hit. So it's 1 extra point of damage on the Anaconda. So the Anaconda's now got 3 damage tokens on it.
Okay, so that Cobra has now acted.
It's now drained,
So
so
that's
turn
drained.
that sideways. So, Will, it is now your Anaconda's go. So what's your Anaconda going to do?
The Anaconda has got
2 fixed damage and a 4 burst. So I'm going to destroy that.
Quite nasty. Okay, let's see how you do then, Will.
Oh, so that is 5 points of damage in total.
Nasty.
That Asp is toast.
It's been
well
destroyed.
Played, Will.
So, Will, so far, looks like he's winning in that zone. So, very good. Okay, so now we move to the middle zone here. Who's got the fastest ship here? It looks to me like it is the Imperial Courier over here with a speed of 70. So, Will, what are you going to do? What's your target?
This guy.
He's going to go for that
Okay.
transport. He's going straight for the transport.
The lone, slow transport at the back of the convoy.
Okay, make an attack then. So he's going to ignore Chris's fighters entirely and just try and blow up his transports. What a sneaky devil.
Oh, that's 3 hits.
3 points of damage on that transporter. I think that's half strength, in fact. So that's a nasty first hit. Who is the next fastest? I think it might... Is it the Vulture?
Got a 60, yeah.
Yep, okay. Oh,
Okay.
60 there. All
Yeah,
right,
so
well, it's Will again.
Will is the hasty player, so his Empire Interdictor now gets to have a go. What options have you got on the Interdictor?
I've got attack 1 target burst 2 or attack 1 fighter burst 3. I don't... Oh, you do have fighters.
Yes. So these two, in the Elite Dangerous Battlecards, these both count as fighters, since they're kind of, fast, agile little things. And when I designed the game, Frontier hadn't invented fighters yet. So I might have done it differently, in hindsight. And anyway, shut up. So obviously he could attack those with fix 3, but what are you going to do? Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to concentrate on... Yep. So he is going for his best ship. He's swooping in for an attack. Oh, so that's 1/6, but do you have Deadly by any chance? I think you do. What is it, Deadly 2?
It's inflict an extra 2 damage when you roll any 6s on your burst attack dice.
So that is 3 points of damage to your Vulture.
Ouch.
Now, normally, Jarvis might be able to use one of the Vulture's special abilities of spending 2 karma points and dodging 2 points. But he can't, because he's got 1 karma point left. So he, unfortunately, overspent on really good ships, but that means that in his opening turn, he's not able to use very many of his special abilities.
Because Karma can be used not only during the build phase, but also in combat. Karma buys you an extra special ability that ship has that gets you, like in this situation, out of a hole or repairs your hull or something like that. So don't always spend your Karma straight away.
So, Chris, what do you want to do with your Vulture? You're going to repair. Okay. So he's got an ability that lets him repair. Do you attack as well, or is it just repair? It's just repair. Okay, so that ship is acted. It's drained. We turn that sideways. Who's the next fastest? Is it the other Vulture, by any chance? Yep. Okay, what's that Vulture going to do?
Fixed 2, burst 2.
Yep.
I'll have a go at the Type 6.
You're going to have a go at the Type 6. So fixed 2, burst 2. Good luck. Oh, so that is 3 points of damage. He's rolled 1 burst and 2 fixed. 3 damage, is that enough to destroy it? Or is it got a little bit left? No, it's got still 1 more strength point. So still intact. So I believe, so we've got 20 here. So it's probably your Type 6, isn't it, Will?
No, it's my Python Stobart 9.
Oh, the Python Stobart 9 can go next. Brilliant.
Oh, wait, this has got 30.
Ah, no, I thought so. Yeah. Okay, Will. Okay, what are you going to do?
Let's attack this.
All right, okay. Oh, he's going for the transport. You can see Will's dogged determination to knock
The
out...
transport has strength 6, has taken 3 points of damage already, so its hull is to 50%. Oh, we're changing. We're changing.
Oh,
Attack 1 target, burst 1, same target, but 1 point of damage from.
ah, so you can heal at the same time. Okay, so he does...
And he gets a 6.
so 1 point of damage.
Very good. Very nicely done, Will. You're wanting to win this game, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, fantastic. Well, there's no point. I mean, there's no point getting out of bed in the morning at the end of the day unless you want to win. Is it?
Okay.
Attacking with the Python, I'm going to hit the Imperial Courier.
Okay, so the Python is going to attack the Imperial Courier. Okay, go for it. What is your attack type?
Fixed 2, burst 3.
Fixed 2, burst 3. Okay, here we go. So that is
One success on that.
So
Fixed
3
2,
points.
so 3 points.
So 3 points damage to that. That is enough to blow up the poor
Gone. That
Imperial
goes into
Courier.
your discard pile.
So that is
It's
gone. So Jarvis has done something. Yeah, that's quite good. Right, the rest of these ships are all on, I think, 10 speed. So obviously, Will, I was going to shine my laser on you there. That wouldn't be very nice, would it? Will, there's only one thing your transports can do. They've got one action, which is, draw a card. So if you'd like to draw 2 cards and just put them in your hand. And Chris, I think it's more or less the same with you. So, yep, you just draw a card, put it in your deck. Okay, so we now go to the final zone, which is the exploration zone over here. So who is the fastest here?
Here we have Will in his lone asp.
Yeah.
Just, pottering about, scanning planets.
Facing off against the hell, that is Chris Jarvis's war fleet. So who is going first, Chris?
It's going to be the F-63 Condor.
The F-63 Condor. Right, what's he doing? So he does fixed 1 against your ship. What happens?
He does nothing. Why does he do nothing?
Because of this A-grade shields, avoid 1 damage when attacked.
Yes. So unfortunately, Will's asp, because his shields are so strong, completely immune to the attack of the fighter. He plinks away at it for no effect whatsoever. Okay, so Chris, what's your next thing? What's your next card?
This one here, if I discard this unit, so if I can presumably drain this one, then do this ability to use this one again?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. What that was, you won't be able to see it from here, is that one of the options you've got with this interdictor here is that rather than play it, you can discard it into your used pile, your discard pile, and then undrain another ship that you've already used in that.
Absolutely. So, yeah, you just sacrifice the eagle, which isn't something that's done in the real game, of course, but, you know, I've reflected it here. So I'm going to do a attack 1 target, fixed 1, burst 3. So because he's got the shields, I'll just do the burst. Of course. So fixed 1, burst 3. Oh.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
Oh.
No, I'll do fixed 1, burst 2. Because I think that makes a difference. No, it won't make any. No, roll all the damage together, and then we take 1 off. You can't game it, I'm afraid, even though it's a game. So how do we do?
2. So 3 in total, but with the A-grade shields.
Do you have deadly on your ship?
I do.
Deadly 2.
Deadly 2?
An extra 2 damage.
So you inflict an extra 2 damage, so that means it's 1, 2...
5 down to 4.
Yep, 4 points of damage to the asp.
And can you dodge with anything? Can you spend karma points to dodge? How many karma points can you spend to dodge what? You think it's pointless. So obviously, he could save his ship here by spending a couple of karma points and dodging a point, bringing it down to 1 point of strength. So spending 2 karma points. So, okay. However, if he does that, Will, I think, realizes... Oh, no, he's doing it anyway. He's doing it anyway. So, Chris... Will is feeling numerically outnumbered right now. So, Chris... it's your go with your last eagle. What would you like to do? You can see that Chris has got faster ships. I'm going to discard the eagle. Yep. Told you the Diamondback was good. Yeah. So he's doing it again. He only needs to inflict 2 points of damage here. So what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3 points of damage. -1 is 2. Easily enough. The asp is blown to smithereens. Well done, Chris. That's what you get for having a lot of self-belief in yourself. Yeah. Thanks, John. So that's welcome. Brilliant. So we can see at the end of round 1, oh dear, Will has lost a zone. I do have to say, though, that in the conflict zone over here, Chris is going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat in order to save matters here, but we'll see what happens. So what happens at this point is that each player, because it's the end of the round, gains 4 karma points, and they can each draw 2 cards and put them into their hand. So Will is the hasty player, so he has to deploy all his points first. Will has got, he gets a number of points equal to the zones that he's controlled, so gets 2 points for the conflict zone. Undrain all your cards. Oh yes, undrain all your cards. Yep. The escort mission, is that 3 points? I think it is, isn't it? Yes, it is. So Will has got 5 points to spend, but Chris Jarvis has got ships in all 3 zones, so he gets 7 points to spend. So Will not only has to deploy first, but he's deploying fewer cards. So he's got a bit of a disadvantage for losing that zone. He's been punished quite heavily. And I think, you know, anyone who knows Will realizes that he needs to be punished heavily most of the time. So this is appropriate. Will, would you like to deploy 5 points worth of cards? Any zones you like. And he's got a decision to make here. Does he try and re-challenge this zone? It wouldn't be easy. Or does he try and strengthen an existing zone? So he's put a Taipan fighter in the conflict zone. Top that out a bit. That's 2 points. Bless you. What's he going to do with his last 3 points? Can he do anything? He's looking puzzled. And oh, no, he's putting in. Is that a 2 point ship? It is. So you've got 1 point left. That's a little Imperial fighter.
Quite a good little fight, that one. And, we've got a 1 point. You're part building a Sidewinder. I think that'll swing it for you. I think, I can confidently predict you'll get it on that. Okay, so there we are. Will has done his. So, Jarvis, 7 points. No, you don't have to finish it. You can ignore your part build, or you can spend the rest of the points.
Can it go in any zone?
Any zone you like. So, Chris's choice here, he's got a similar choice to Will, oddly. Is he going to try and keep the conflict zone open? Because even if you have just one ship in there, you're still getting the points for the zone. And you can slowly grind your opponent down.
Now, there's one rule that we might not play today, but in the various cards are broken up into different classes, and one of the classes of card or ship is an exploration vessel. And the bonus with the exploration vessels, which aren't in any of the other cards, is that they can move from one zone to another.
So he's
nice.
putting a pulse disruptor on his vulture and put another vulture. Gosh, he loves his vultures. He's put another one into this combat zone. He's facing it out. My goodness. Is that all your points spent, Chris?
That's 7 points.
I'm just going to quickly steal this. Not that I'm, going on about the Diamondback, but if you have a look at this particular Diamondback, I don't know whether you can read the bottom option there, is that you can scan a planet if you were playing the exploration card you would, but if not, you can move that card to another zone. So Chris has got this deployed in a zone that's currently his, but he does have the option, if he wants to bolster another zone, to move that to that zone.
Absolutely. That reflects exploration ships' kind of long jump ranges. Okay, so let's begin the next turn. So in this conflict zone, who is the fastest ship? I think it's Will. Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to spend a karma to boost my Cobra.
So the Cobra Mark III can spend a calm point to boost its speed up to 60. Okay, so you spend a calm point. That ship is now 60 speed. Does that make you the fastest, Chris?
Still no, but
Okay, Will. In which case, you take your turn first then.
Okay,
Right.
the Imperial fighter is attacking the Cobra Inca.
Okay.
Now,
so
the Cobra Inca's only got 3 hulls, so with 2 damage on it at the moment,
it's very...
is this fighter going to take him out? And he has got a
He's
success
got
twice.
Yeah, no, destroyed. So the Cobra has been blown up. Oh dear. So that karma point is gone. Right, okay, so that has acted. Who is next? So it's the Taipan fighter next. Okay, so poor Chris has to weather a barrage of fire. It's attacking the vulture. Fixed one.
Fixed one.
So it's 1 point of damage straight. Okay, he spends a calm point to dodge the attack. So there's no damage on that ship. He's managed to dodge out the way. Who's next?
Do you get a look in now, Chris?
So
Do you get a look in now?
so far it is you, unless...
Alrighty. And with
okay.
the Pulse Disruptor, what are you going to do?
So the Pulse Disruptor gains stun 3. So any unit that I damage, it gets 3 less damage on its attacks.
Yes. Okay, so who do you want to attack then on that basis?
It's going to have
The
to
Anaconda.
be the Anaconda.
Quite right. Okay, make an attack. It is. Fixed 4
Ouch.
points of damage to the warship. Are you
And then,
still alive?
and then
yeah?
stun, which means that when that warship then fires back, it causes 3 less damage.
That's exactly right.
Ouch.
So he might be able to weather the counterattack, which will be rather splendid.
Well, here it comes.
Well, so Will, it's your go. Just drain your card, Jarvis.
Oh, yeah.
So what's your Cobra going to do?
Bright yellow Cobra Driller Max. Here we go.
Let's attack 1. Let's attack 1.
Right.
Spend 2 karma.
Okay.
Make instinctive aim, so I score a hit on 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so he's more likely to do damage. So do your damage. He's using an instinctive aim card. So not that it mattered too much. You did 2 points of damage to the vulture. Okay,
So
he
that's
spends
just 1 damage.
just
on
1
that.
damage because he spent a karma point.
Yes, it does.
So that is normally fixed to burst 4. Just roll all the damage together and then we take 3 off. So he does
1 damage.
1, 2, 3, 4. Take 3 off. That's 1 damage. You going to try and dodge it again? You going to dodge it again, Chris, or are you going to take it? He's going to take it. Okay. So that's 1 damage. Yep, okay, so he has dodged entirely. Thanks to him stunning the Anaconda and being very agile, he has avoided all damage to his ship. That looks to me like that zone is done, so we're back in escort mission. So, how are we doing here? Who's going first? 60, up here. Okay, choose your target, make an attack. Oh, he's going for the vulture, okay. Burst 3 attack, 1, 2. Is that 3 hits?
No, 2 hits.
2 hits. 2 points of damage. So he's still intact.
God, just.
Who's next? Yeah, got 1 strength point left. Probably this one. Fixed 1 burst 4.
Didn't know you spoke Thargoid.
How are we doing? So that is 3 points of damage. That's completely totaled. His poor banana type 6 has been blown to pieces. Okay, who's next? Is it the vulture? I think it is.
Vulture Vanguard at speed of 40. Yep, it is.
Who are you going for?
So fixed to burst 4 on the sidey.
Oh, the Sidewinder. It's not been built yet.
Oh, it's not been built.
He's not been built yet. So although he's sitting there, it's just, you know.
I'll take out the Imperial.
Fixed to burst 2.
So he's going for the ship. So
Interdictor, yep.
fixed
Or are you
to-
going for the transports?
No, I'll go for the Interdictor.
So
Okay.
he shoots the Interdictor. The
And
Interdictor's got
you-
1 strength point. So it's
And you
going to be blown
can't
to pieces
defend
no matter
against
what.
that. You're not going to... No. Okay. No, it's gone.
Okay, that is blown to pieces, which means it's Jarvis again. He's got his Python. What do you want to do?
Fixed to burst 3 against.
Go for it. Fixed to burst 3. So that is 4 points of damage to that transporter. He's got 2 left. And at this point, I think you've just got transporters left. So why don't you guys just drain them and draw cards accordingly? And lastly, coming into this zone here, even though Will doesn't have any ships, Chris can still choose some action. So what do you want to do with your diamond back?
I am going to scan.
He's going to scan a planet. So he is spending an action, scan a planet. That gives him plus 10 speed, plus 1 burst damage die. So at this point, however, I think are we out of time, or are we still? What's that? You're putting that one back in your hand as an action. Are we out of time, John, or do we have time for one more round? What's your thinking?
I don't know what the time is.
It's 10-2.
One more round then? Yeah,
One more round?
let's do it.
Okay, one more round. You're very lucky, Will, or you'd have lost automatically there otherwise. Okay, so...
Game's not won until it's lost, Will. Remember that.
yeah. Okay.
However, I think it's probably about time that I come over here and interview someone. How are you feeling about Will's progress?
I'm looking forward to seeing him defeated.
Are you going to gloat?
No, I wouldn't dream of it.
No, of course.
Right. Oh, are we back? Yes, we are. There we are. Sorry, there was a momentary delay. Okay, now I've reminded everyone how the game works. They're going to play. It's going to be smooth. Will, you have to deploy first. You're the hasty player. So you see that although Will wins speed ties, which is absolutely great when you're in the middle of a round, sort of strategically, it's a bit of a pain because Chris is going to be able to match more or less whatever he does. So it's a great advantage and a great disadvantage being the hasty player, and you kind of have to base your choices that you make in the game around whether you're hasty or not. So what are you doing, Will? Where are you going? What have you done? Have you put down a card? You have. Oh, he's going all out with a Hauler Silence. I think that'll swing the battle. Can we switch to... no, never mind.
Against neutral.
So here we are. The Hauler Silence is a deadly card, as you can see, with its Burst 1 attack. And a Sidewinder Polaris, which is an oddly better card than you think. That's an engineered Sidewinder, which can be surprisingly nasty, so may not be entirely bad. And Chris, what are you deploying? 7 points, please. We have got, the Damask Rose. This is a Viper Mark III that has been pimped to the max.
Or it's a station that we got to name this time last year that's now out near Colonia.
We did.
Want to go and
There is
the Damask Rose.
I think it's a ship, isn't it?
It's one of those big
Yeah.
mega ships. Thank you.
Ship. Yeah, that's quite nice.
I knew what they were called.
Yeah, anyway. And there is a Condor and a Sidewinder Viva. Both
Sidewinder Viva, probably one of the best
ships in the game. Yeah, I think so. I think it's great. Okay, so conflict zone.
Attack fixed 1.
Yeah, eat that. Okay, who is the fastest here? So it's still the Imperial Fighter. Imperial Fighter, what are you going to do? We've got a proper Barney going on here. Crikey. Where are you aiming? Going for the Damask
So you're
Rose.
going for the Damask Rose.
That's 1 point of damage for the Damask Rose. He's taken it. Okay. Who's next? Oh, so these... go for it. But...
That's it. Miners are now kicking butt.
So what Will has done there, because John doesn't want to give Will a mic, I understand. He talks too much anyway, is that he's spent a karma point to increase his speed by 30. Because as we all know, Cobra's got a nice big boost. So he is suddenly trying to outrun these two ships and get in there first. You're going for the Damask Rose. Okay, make an attack. Oh, no, it's not great. That's only
Just
one point of damage. He can take it. Okay, so back to you, Chris. What is he going to... Which ship are you going to go with?
Oh, I didn't realize I'd spend time on... Sorry, I had a really good card. I didn't realize I'd spend...
Yeah, a couple of action cards there that would have helped, but they're expensive in karma, and Chris has only got 2 karma points left.
Okay, yep. Okay, so who's going first? Chris. Give him a mic, John. Go on.
Well, these are... I'm going to do... What's that got? 2.
Oh, it's like pulling teeth.
I could probably kill all of these, yeah. So I'm going to use the Damask Rose against the Taipan Fighter.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, make an attack.
Going for the one that hasn't had a go yet. Take it out of action before it gets to attack you.
Very sound strategy. Make an attack.
Burst for 2 damage.
2 damage,
It's gone.
enough. Kaboom. Off he goes. Okay, so just turn him sideways so you don't lose track. Lovely. Who's next?
F-63 Condor.
1 damage against the Imperial Fighter. Boom.
It's gone.
This is the Jarvis firing squad. This is nasty.
Sidewinder, Viva. Fixed 1.
Fix 1. Cobra Driller Max.
It's a Sidewinder, Will.
Lovely.
I'm going to do 4 fixed on the Anaconda.
4 fixed on the Anaconda. Boom. The Anaconda has been totaled.
I think we're starting to see the carrot at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I think we are.
Yeah. Just, what have you got written down on that clipboard, man? That's just...
These are the rules, so I remember.
Oh, you know what we forgot? Never mind.
No, I don't think we've got anything to read.
I've got plus 10 speed.
You do have plus 10 speed and plus 1 burst. Well, we'll remember it for this one when you destroy him. Although, to be fair, at this point, if Will is a big man, he might be willing to concede. Are you willing to concede, Will? Give the microphone.
I reluctantly concede.
Chris Jarvis wins!
Well done indeed. Thank you very much indeed, gentlemen. That was awesome. And thank you also very much for sitting through that and watching us play. But once again, a big round of applause for Will Flannigan and Chris Jarvis. Thank you. Now, we do have a tiny bit of extra time left over, just in case anyone had any questions that they wanted to pose to us. Yes, sir.
Mike.
Was there a gimbaled weapon category instead of burst and, what was the other one? Fixed?
Burst and fixed. No, that was largely because I didn't want too many different kinds of attacks. I kind of took inspiration from sort of the game. I tried to bring as many game phrases into it as possible. But yes, I only wanted kind of two types. There is a card, an outfitting card called Gimbaled Weapons, which you can buy for your ship, which I believe it makes you more accurate. So I think it gives you the Elite ability, which means that when you're making burst attacks, you hit on a 3+ instead of a 4+. So there's an outfitting card, which is Gimbaled Weapons. But no, there isn't a fixed mechanic called Gimbaled. And it can be any question at all. It doesn't have to be about cards. Oh.
Hang on one sec.
Is the game available to buy now?
We're in production.
Yeah, we're in the process of making it, but there is an option to pre-order it at a discount price. It will be retailed at £60 once it has been released, but at the moment it's available on pre-order for £50. So basically what that means is if you get it now, when you are going to have it shipped out to you, pretty much your postage is free.
There's a question here from Twitch. Are the card images a result of the screenshots request you made to the community? So the answer is yes, they will be, but we did that about 3 weeks ago, and these cards are about 18 months old.
Yeah.
So these particular ones, no, not specifically.
They are screenshots, but they're just mine.
It's mostly John mucking about in-game trying to take...
No, what we did was, just to let everyone know, we actually put out an appeal to various groups and asked for screenshots so that the pictures themselves look amazing. Now, of course, the unfortunate thing about the cards is that, one, they're two-dimensional. They don't have a light coming from the back, which, of course, the images on Elite Dangerous do. So it's really, really hard to get fantastic images. So, yes, you do have to Photoshop them a bit. But because of the ability, I mean, I didn't realize quite how gifted some of these Elite Dangerous commanders are at taking ship pawn. I mean, it is just, they're ships, but they're M&S ships. I mean, they are amazing. Yeah. And so we put out a request, and we were flooded with fantastic images. Quite a few of the commanders are here this weekend that I've been able to say thank you to. So if we haven't already said thank you, a huge thanks to all of you, and you will begin to start to see those as our designer works on them. We'll then start to tweet at Facebook, and there's also a blog on the edbattlecards.com website. There's a blog that we will start to update once we've got images through, so you can actually see the production process and how amazing those cards look.
Yep, absolutely. And they're really, really useful to us, and you'll see them in the big box set. So they're really, really smashing.
Assuming when you pre-order, the playmat comes with the cards?
The playmat, what the board on the in the game is one of those 6-fold cardboard game boards. It'll look and be about the same size as that. That particular mat is available either to purchase, or you get it free if you buy the 4-box upgrade set. And the reason why there is a 4-box upgrade set is because the rules of the game allow for a maximum of 4 of the same card available in a deck that you would want to build. And in each box, in each season box, there is 1 of every card. So if you did want to absolutely max out your deck and be the king, lord, queen, and mistress of death, then you would buy your 4 boxes, and you'd get a free neoprene mat. Otherwise, they are available to purchase and will be available once the shop opens, once we've made the game.
Yeah, honestly, we would put them in, but they don't fold into a box. So they've got to go in like separate tubes and stuff. So they have to be separate items. Is there someone else? I'm sure Oh,
Is there any news on when the game will be available to pick up?
Sort of. It'll certainly be posted out before Christmas. I know that's a very vague, but what we have to do now is finish the design stage. The design stage we are hoping to get done within the next 6 weeks, and then we send it off to the printers. But the printers will only tell us then, once we've put in an order and paid 50% up front, they will only then tell us when they're going to make it and when they're going to deliver it back to the UK. It's being printed in Poland. So we will know, as soon as we know that date and that delivery ETA back in the UK, we will be sure to let you guys know. But promising things too early is only going to jinx it.
yeah.
And I don't want to do that. Alrighty, well, thank you very much indeed for your attention. Really, really grateful for everyone coming along, and enjoy the rest of LaveCon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.